No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure at all, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm standing in a room with a bunch of CIA members right now. Everyone's in suits. Okay. This is a song I wrote especially for you guys. I'm extremely nervous right now, and I want to let you know that this is the first time at a wedding that tears actually floated from my eyes. And it was because of you guys. If everyone wasn't so uptight and possibly like maybe stand up or like do something so I don't feel so uptight. Okay, that sounds good. I'm nervous as can be right now. Alright, listen. Let me tell you all the story that began a long time ago. Almost 30 now, when the Yankees were unstoppable. Feels like yesterday, the memory is still fresh. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Listen, my little sister, middle child, was a crazy one. Growing up, we fought a lot, we also had a lot of fun. 5-person family in a 3-room home, 1 bathroom, taking numbers for the telephone. There wasn't much time that we had to spend alone. We were in each other's face till we learned to roam. Made the best of what we had, even though it wasn't much. Didn't have fancy things, but we had each other's love. Summers were the best, no school, taking dips in the pool, doing anything we could to stay cool. Wintertime, sleigh rides, Halloween, trick-or-treat, eating too much candy, overdosing on sweets. Bike rides, orchard drive, barbecues in springtime. Looking back now, growing up was such a good time. We started out small, barely able to crawl. Spent a lot of time in between these walls. Moved on, grew a little, still we always talk. Even though I made you trip when you were learning to walk. Grew on, grew a little, still we always talk. Even though I made you trip when you were learning to walk. Time flew by in the blink of an eye. Before we knew it, we were trying to move forward with our lives. Ashley was young, still going to high school. I moved out, had a job, and thought that I was so cool. Kayla met Billy, Mr. Mackey, 2001. Who'd have thought that this kid would be the one? I didn't know much about him, even though we hung a few times. Hacky sack late nights underneath the street light. I'll admit, I thought the kid was legit. It made my little sis happy, that's what mattered the most. Before we knew it, she was playing the host to a baby boy filled with joy, at the same time a little nervous. I will never forget when I heard the news. Stopped by the trailer, Billy shaking in his shoes. Pacing on the porch, getting nerve to tell my father. I could tell that he was antsy, but would make a great father. Did everything proper. In fact, it was more than good, cause on that day, he was introduced to manhood. 9 months later, William J. was born, and I can still see the big smile that my mother wore. We started out small, barely able to crawl. Spent a lot of time in between these walls. Moved on, grew a little, still we always talk. Even though I made you trip when you were learning to walk. We spent a lot of time in between these walls. Even though I made you trip when you were learning to walk. As I write this, I kind of feel a tear in my eye. Not from cutting onions, more from the pride that I have to be here in front of all of you today. Sharing in a moment that'll last for a lifetime. Through the pipeline, here for a common cause. Some of us are local, others travel like Santa Claus. To show love and support to our host. So with this, let me lead you all into a toast. Sailing glass for the future and the past. Friends that we have and the family that we had. Times that we laughed and the moments that we cried. To my sister, you came a long way, and words can't express how I'm feeling today. Look, I know we still say we do. Oh man, nah, alright. I knew this was gonna happen, and I'm sorry, and I'm especially sorry to you. But the way I planned this, it's probably more nervous than I've ever been in my life. But in all seriousness, I am so proud of you two right now. Especially where you came from and where you came from. You guys made so much out of yourselves that you should totally pat yourselves on the back every night, every morning, and love each other for the rest of your lives. And I know you're going to do that. You guys created a wonderful nephew. I couldn't ask for a better brother and sister, man. I love you guys.